Okay, here we are. So, thanks for joining us for this online Unwind Your Mind group. And yeah, I'm really just feeling a lot of gratitude right now. Ricki and I have been here at the Peace House, and we're just really joining and going through a lot of healing together, and it's just a blessing to be able to just join you in this deep purpose that we share for waking up to God's love and remembering that God's love is all we really want, and that we deserve it, and that it's everything, and that there's nothing more important than diving into the mind together and facing whatever we have to face in order to wake up. It's a deep journey, and we're just going into it, and we're just inviting the whole cosmos actually to join us. It's because it's all our mind. So these groups are just a blessing. I'm just really happy and grateful that it's been given as like a pathway, as like a context for this healing to just accelerate, like a way to extend the message, and really be like an example of what's possible. And yeah, not that we're going to be totally healed, but we're gonna keep just going into it, going deeper. Can you turn off the sound on that? Just a little switch on the side. Yeah. So yeah, it's great. And this is, I think, the third or fourth week I've done the Unwind Your Mind group online for just the general public. I was doing one for just the facilitators, as people who are starting their own Unwind Your Mind groups around the country and the world, actually. And yeah, it's just been really, really helpful for me, and just feels like a beautiful opportunity. So yeah, we're going to start off with some music, like we always do, like I always do. And Ricki brought her guitar, and I brought mine, and we're actually going to sing a song together to kick this off. So if everyone could just mute your microphones. I think everyone did. Maybe I see maybe Will and Dan. I think yours are muted, but I don't see it. So that'll just help with the feedback or anything. And we will share this beautiful song with you that Ricki wrote. It's called Into the Kingdom. You good?
Go ahead, get your guitar and
okay.
Work around it. Okay, brother.
Into the kingdom.
Back into the love.
Yeah.
Okay. The leaves are falling. God is calling. Truth dawns on my mind. Sweet Father, my beloved, freed a thousand lifetimes. There's no way to Oh my God, we are healed,
Yeah.
brother. An ancient hate has turned into a present love.
Okay. Now we can just kind of sink inward for a few moments and absorb absorb that. Okay. That felt really good.
sure they'd love it if you shared.
Yeah, it's just this whole idea of collaboration. It even says, there's a line in A Course in Miracles, it says, awakening is a collaborative venture. And it, those of you who've really read and studied it, how much it focuses on relationships. That a lot of spiritualities focus more on meditation or, I don't know, just kind of affirmations or trying to become, to stay in the now, and different ideas, which are all really beautiful as well, not to discount anything, but the Course is really big on relationships and using our brothers and sisters as mirrors so that we can get in touch with whatever is unhealed in ourselves. And yeah, it's just really great, and that's what these Unwind Your Mind groups are really for. Because when we come together, whether it's Ricki and I collaborating together on it, or the collaboration that's happening between us and all of you, or it's really with everyone, but it's just in this, there's something that happens when we join. There's something really profound that the ego always wants to keep things separate, and it doesn't like to come together. There's that line in the Bible, where two or more are gathered, there I am. And actually, I think it says, where two or more are gathered in my name. Not just when people get together. There's nothing special about bodies coming together, because bodies come together for all kinds of purposes. But if bodies are coming together for the purpose of awakening, coming together for the purpose of knowing and remembering divinity, then it's a speed up. It really speeds up the awakening. So, yeah,
especially if the person in front of you seems to be your complete opposite, and the last person you'd want to join with. Erik and I are always put together because we are complete opposites, and we cannot. We think we can't come together, and we fight it tooth and nail, and. We always come to a place of deep joy, and the collaboration and the healing is so obvious after. But this could be the 4th or 5th time in 4 years we've been put together, and I have stomped out of rooms, told him to fuck off. I mean, I have just said, no way.
We're on live TV.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that. But it gets down to the point where I'm just willing to skip the healing. What I truly want, because it's just so intense in my mind, and I have stomped out. That was the first time we were put together, and I realized I just couldn't walk away anymore from what Spirit had for me, whatever the gift was. And actually, this particular time that Erik and I are together, I asked him to come, and the same stuff came up for us, because every time we part, it's like, oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we leave in such, it's maximized, the healing is. And so we part and we're like, oh, you rock. Oh, thank you. It was so tough. But I was telling Erik today, I can't believe I asked for this. I can't believe I asked for this. But I couldn't remember anything but the good. And the Course says that you'll take with you only the loving thoughts, and only those are true, actually, and that only those are real. But that's all I can ever remember once Erik and I have completed an assignment together, some kind of collaboration. All I can remember is how good it feels in the end to have walked through so much with him. With our personalities being so different, there's just like a standoff with us, and he's not budging and I'm not budging, and we're both musicians and we feel to join in that, but there's not much else that we in the worldly terms that we would ever come together for. And but we're here again, and it's been really intense, and I think we both made a choice yesterday or today. But we still we hadn't felt the love. And about, I'd say about 2 hours before this, it's really close cutting it that I was to join on this Google Hangout, which I was sure that I wasn't. But I just say yes, 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 and from that yes, there was just a deep knowing that all this was perfect for us, and a sense of, oh, thank God we've been put back together for this purpose of healing. And I swear, anyone you think irritates you or sets you off or puts you off or is nowhere close to the way your mind would think is your savior. And truly, we will always come to a place of love. Erik and I will never, we may threaten, fight, scream, and say, I'm not doing this with you, but we have never not done any of it. And so we just hope to bring it. Like, you can't fight it. It's like the script is written. I can't even stop this. There's nothing I can do. And I'm really grateful for Erik. And being able to share it with you guys.
Yeah, I know. It's like in our mind we've accepted that we have no purpose other than awakening, and once you really put that one as your top priority over everything else, then you can basically expect that shit's gonna come up. The darkness is going to arise, and it's gonna happen most prominently with those who seem opposite from you. And yeah, it's pretty deep. I was in a 4-year marriage with a woman named Armel starting in 2009, and and it was the same. It was so intense. It was so intense, and we both kind of graduated. We got to a point of seeing the love, just seeing the Christ in each other, and I thought maybe I'm done now, but then here comes Ricki for another version of a higher version of Armel, or a new version of Armel, a new, someone who's totally opposite from me. I'm very intellectual. Armel was very emotional, just totally would just say everything, and Ricki's been that way as well. So it's been very, very powerful and healing for me too, because I've always needed someone who's we need our opposites. We can't really wake up from the ego's thought system by just meditating and being on our own. We can't, because we can't see beyond our own mind. We need each other, because it's like a symbol of opening up to that we're not alone. Our mind is actually, there's a bigger thing going on here. So it's just so radical and deep what happens when we come together in this purpose. And the groups, these Unwind Your Mind groups, are basically an extension of our community. We've been living in the Living Miracles community for on and off, me on and off for several years, and Ricki pretty much full on for 3-4 years or something.
4 years. Almost
4 years, yeah.
You've been in and out for
6, 7, or 8. I don't know. Yeah. Whatever it was.
He comes and goes. He's a free spirit, that one. I mean, I like to think of myself as a gypsy, but you can't. This one. Yeah, we're all so different, and we come together in this community, and we're lawyers, doctors, hippies, musicians. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And the last person we want to join with is who we usually, you have to forgive everything. And although it seemed obvious because we were both musicians, but that was it. You find yourself in a group of people who you would never choose to be with. Never, ever, ever, ever.
That was how many?
Did I say never? It's just, Erik can say nothing for 24 hours, where I would be it's just total opposites. Let's telepathically pray to David. I'm I'm calling David now. What is this telepath? It's just a total opposite thought system. And I would call David too much, and he would never call. It's like we help each other bring out that which we would resist. And I can see it, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, not again. I thought we healed that, Erik. Like, but it's layers and layers and layers, and then this time could be the last threads, or I could have a freaking lifetime assignment with this dude, and always be put back until and sometimes I feel like it's never good, and it won't end until it's healed because I'm willing. No, it can be really fun when we're feeling so free and limitless. We do have fun, but it seems like every time we come together, it's like, oh my God. It's just like, how are we going to take off? How are we going to go to our gatherings in 2 days? This is where we've been. Yeah. But we're going. It's been healed pretty quickly this time, but it was more intense than ever, probably.
Yeah. Seems like it's just always been that way, where like it'll come up really intensely and then it'll get healed, and then there's like a next something to happen, and then it's like the Spirit gives us these breaks and goes, okay, now I want you to extend the love that you've gone into, like you've gone through another layer of darkness, and you're in a deeper place now than you were yesterday. So now we're going to go extend that to reinforce it. And then, then you'll be ready for the next layer of darkness that will come up tomorrow or something. So it's pretty, it's good. So I think we just want to open it up now to, these Unwind Your Mind groups have a kind of a light structure to them where, we start with music, then a meditation, then kind of share about the purpose of these groups, and then anyone who wants to share or express, we call them expression sessions. We sometimes call them altar sessions, where you can just express your thoughts and put them on the altar, so to speak, so that we can just see them, and it's we don't really try to do anything with them. We just let our thoughts up and then trust the Spirit will dissolve it. But my role and Ricki's role is really just to hold the space for anyone to just say whatever they feel to say and express, and emotions, thoughts, whatever.
And it's a good radar, like in your mind, to share and lift up what you're going through right now. It's in the present moment. Like Erik and I were really open and authentic about what was happening for us right now. And so anything from the past or a future fear thought can't really be lifted up and healed. It's like what's happening with you now, and we can just, like, you guys know that our seeming hatred or whatever, it's not real, and you don't buy it. So we just put it up on the altar to be looked at, and you guys aren't going to buy into that. We hate each other. You could clearly see the love, and that's what we'll do for you. You just express what's going on for you now, and we'll only see the Christ in you, like I'm sure you could see in us. It's just to see that the ego thought system is not real, and only what is love is what is the truth, and we just want to join you in that.
Well, I'm so glad that there are no private thoughts, because what y'all talked about is what I went through today, because I struggle. I'm in a relationship. I'm glad you said that relationships are kind of the place where you awaken, where you learn, where you practice. Because I'm in a changing relationship. And when you move from somebody that maybe you were partners with to something else, you can be confused about, what are you doing? What are you doing here with this person? I've moved from being a partner to a caregiving role. And that has been very hard for me. I was interested in A Course in Miracles to help me deal with what I thought was the other person's problem, but now I'm seeing it's me. That I'm healing me, my fears, and my worries. So what I've been trying to do is listen to Spirit, voice of God, because I have a tendency to help too much. And so I've been watching myself this week. Being able to do that, sometimes it feels okay, and sometimes I feel like, why does she do this? Why? Like right before, I was in the kitchen, and here she comes in the kitchen, and so I have to put my attention there with her when I wanted to think about the group, what was going to happen, that I needed to eat, that I needed to get ready. And so there it comes again, that that feeling that I'm losing something, that by being in this relationship now, I'm losing something. Something is being taken away from me, my time, my good feeling, or whatever. And so it's rocky, and we are opposites. We are opposites. So when you were talking about that, I was like, because I'm more of the intellectual one, if you want to put it like that, and she's totally an emotional person, and so and that causes a lot of conflict. That causes a lot of conflict. I've heard myself say things like, well, just because I'm not responding right now to what's going on in an emotional way doesn't mean that I'm not feeling. So I just wanted to share that. I'm real grateful to hear that, because that's healing. To know that this, what Erik was saying, that the darkness keeps coming up, and you think you're kind of done what you said too, and then here it is again. So it came up right before even this, in the form of, I don't want to be bothered, I want to get ready for the group, I want to fix some food, give me a break, kind of thing. And yeah. So I can see that, and the thing about, you're talking about the Christ in each of us. I've been able to see that more in her, which has been a blessing. I mean, they're all the blessings, because you got to have that, the darkness to get to that right now when you're new at this. So I really appreciate you talking about relationships and differences and opposites, and that whole thing you were just talking about.
Hi, it's V. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
So before I share, I just wanted to say that I love you, Erik, and Ricki, and everyone who is here at this time. I just feel so blessed that we get together to join our minds and work for healing. It really warms my heart, and I really resonate with what you guys have been saying about struggling with, if someone gets on your nerve, or I don't know which word to use, but I'm also experiencing a lot of resistance. I started a mystical mind training about 2 weeks ago, and then last week I started having this nightmare, and then this week my body felt ill, and it's like I'm going down the drain, as if Holy Spirit has a big spotlight, and he's showing me like all the things that I don't want to be as it is. Like there's one of the lessons that says, let things be exactly as they are, and then I didn't realize that, but now I'm realizing that there's so many things, like from the morning to the night, that I don't want these things to be as they are. So it's like the whole day he's showing me, so this and then that, like it could be just like I go out of the house, my car is parked too far, and then I go to the first stop sign and I don't like the way the other car stop, and it's just like this on and on and on and on. Like I realize all of a sudden, like I want everything to be different. I don't want the present moment as it is, and it brings a lot of I feel a lot of discomfort and anxiety. Like I'm realizing I'm really not in line with my purpose, and so I try to just bring it to the altar and keep repeating, help me, Holy Spirit, to want things to be the way they are. Help me wanting to have things be the way they are. Just keep asking that, because I don't know what else to ask. So that's kind of how, in this, what space I'm in right now. And like even, and there's another line I forgot if it's the Bible or the Course in Miracle that says like all things work together for good, and it's as if like I don't believe all things work together for good. I have to struggle and do things a certain way. I don't want to let things be. So I'm just seeing that now, as if like 2 weeks ago I didn't see it. So so I'm just that's my prayer these days. Like I'm asking Spirit, help me wanting to want things to be the way they are right now. That's kind of the prayer of my heart these days. And so I just thought I'd share that with you, because there's a lot of darkness, and so by bringing it up, I hope like the Holy Spirit is going to strengthen the prayer, because there's more than one right now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of us, seemingly 8. So it just helps me make it stronger in me. So that's my sharing right now. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
Oops.
I would like to thank everyone for this coming together. I met David last fall. He came to Sedona, and actually I had heard him interviewed on Buddha at the Gas Pump with Rick Archer, and I was having been doing the course for decades, actually, I was struck at how he embodies the true essence of the course. And so I emailed him, and he emailed me back immediately, and which surprised me in the first place. And then he said, I'm going to be in town in 10 days. So it was a wonderful experience to have met him and Lisa and Jason. And this experience that I have been having ever since with now, which physically appear to be strangers, but the feeling is that, you know, I've known you for a long time. And so I find that after I exit a session like this, it's very healing, just what you said, Ricki, and that this is obviously a miraculous opportunity. So as we go through our seeming humdrum lives, and in my instance, I'm feeling that this is a very powerful tool to that is manifesting from a deep desire to awaken, which I know we all share. Thank you.
so much, Dan. That was, brought tears to my eyes.
Hey Erik, it's Will. Just wanted to say I'm feeling quite joyful right now. Really enjoyed listening to you and Ricki. One of the things that has come up for me over the last little while is a lot about doing and the sort of undoing the doer for me. And I went through. In fact, I think it was about 2 weeks ago in one of these sessions here, there was one of the participants was talking about traveling 5,000 miles, I think, across America, and how he was feeling very tired. And the thought that came up for me when I was listening to that was how you can just let go and not be concerned about the doing. And so there was something that I had agreed to do that I was struggling to do because I wanted to really feel in the flow of doing it and not having to do it out of obligation. And it really upset me. And looking back at it now, the upset was, I think, the idea that I wasn't going to force myself to do it. In other words, I was just going to wait for the feeling of the flow to come. And anyway, the what came out of that for me was the ability to differentiate between me as the doer and allowing the spirit to be the doer. And once I got that distinction for myself, I felt very happy. And I'm still happy about that. So that's what I wanted to offer to the group.
Welcome to Erik's entire way of life.
Yeah, I get that.
Unless he feels it.
It's no coincidence that I'm listening to Erik.
It's great. I got it.
Okay.
Hi, it's me again. I don't want to talk too much. Oh, somebody else wants to speak, I think. I see someone on my screen. Does that mean you want to talk? I don't know your name, sorry. Okay, so anyway, someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I just wanted to revisit what Andrea was saying earlier about, you know, being in a relationship with someone and then the relationship is changing, so the roles are changing, and how do we I don't know which word to use because this is also how do we let go of the expectation? I guess that's the biggest problem. How could we let go of the expectation, like we're in one relationship and then we go into another relationship? That's the biggest challenge. Like like I don't know how to. I don't know. I feel strange to speak about this out loud when there's people in the house here. So I guess I believe in private thoughts. I just can't see my insanity right now. So it's all beautiful, I suppose. But anyway, so I really resonate with you, Andrea. So if you have insight, if you learn something, you can feel free to share it with the group.
It's a struggle, you know, because you said it perfectly. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You said it perfectly. Expectations. And you're not sure inside where you're standing. Should I do this? You know, I've been reading the Course is saying you don't have to give up your special relationship, but relationship changes when you are totally more caregiver than you are a lover of this person in that special relationship way. And they kind of expect you to be that other way. And where I see where I am changing is there's a lot of, I don't know how to say it, sickness talk, pain talk, what I see as what we share as victim stuff. And Erik, you said something. Well, Emile said something when she talked. You said that I am not going to participate with you as support you in being a victim. And when I heard you say that in that video, I was like, ah, okay, that's real important. I need to kind of remember that, you know. And so that's the kind of, it's like I'm trying to figure out what spirit, what kind of love, what's the, I don't know, this sounds strange, what's the right love? What's the healing love? I don't want to, I think you said enable, you might not have said enable, but there's a place where I'm not wanting to enable the sickness and the pain and this, and I want to support what I think spirit is wanting me to do, and that's very difficult, okay? To know when to let her stand on her own 2 feet, so to speak, when to step back. You know, is that love when I'm stepping back? But it doesn't feel joyous like what Will is saying when you're just doing and there's no joy in it. And I think last week we kind of touched on that, you know? So it's always like feels like sometimes a chess match if I'm not in joy and love. Then it starts to feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Thank you, Andrea.
Interesting, Andrea and Leah. In the same, I'm in exactly the same boat. I'm in a care provider situation as well, facing exactly the same issues you guys are. So I just find it fascinating and incredible that here the three of us are in the same session talking about this issue. It's beautiful. Just listening to you guys just brings up so many of the thoughts that I've had, and you know, where I've come to with that. So for me, it's been very much about guidance and listening for guidance, and I recall for myself listening to, I think, one of David's talks about this or something similar to this, and really is just you know, trust in the Spirit's ability to provide whatever I need at the time, and and being brave enough to follow the guidance, and that's kind of where I'm at the moment, because I've been really chicken about the guidance, and you know, the guidance is there, and it's sort of, I think it keeps sort of banging on the door for me, but I don't feel quite ready for it. So it's really having the confidence and the trust to step forward in the leading that's been given.
Okay, does anyone else have any other expressions before we move into like a more of a discussion mode? Okay.
I just came in on in the middle, and I missed some of it, but I feel to say something. I never know where it's coming from, and I didn't hear it all, so I could be off. But I just from what I heard before I left and when I came back, it was like people are trying to question the special relationship, and when they are to do things out of feeling they are inspired to, or that it's out of guilt, or being the doer, or feeling you have to do something. And I just want to say that Erik and I are not in a romantic relationship, and I feel definitely to join with him for the healing of my mind. Yet I would prefer to be in a romantic relationship where I'm sparked, and often am. But I choose this one right now because it's what's most helpful. And I also just ask you to question yourself. If a romantic relationship as a lover has ended, and you fall into the caretaker role, is it given by Spirit for the healing of your mind, or do you feel that you have to do this because you no longer want to be a lover? And I don't even know why I'm saying this, except that I've fallen from that so many times. Like, I don't feel this inspired to be in a romantic relationship with you anymore, but I'll be fine if I can just take care of you. It's just, is it given for the healing of your mind? Because otherwise it's false sympathy. It's not the only thing that you can do for anyone else is take responsibility for the atonement yourself. And that's just what I heard. And sometimes I feel these things are really, really harsh. And if you're not ready, you're just not ready. And that's fine too. But if you are asking, and I don't have a greater context because I walked out, but if you are asking for Spirit to give you something that is from Spirit and really moves you into the greater purpose of awakening, and you're settling because you're afraid to let go of someone, or you have guilt, these are things we all have to look at, and I have to look at it over and over again. And I actually chose Erik and joining with him over everything that I wanted because because it was most helpful for my awakening. Little did I know it would be, I just know that I'd rather have the healing than the seeming comfort. It's not comfort, it's misery. One said, I can't even go into the kitchen or have this call. Like, it's all compromise. And I'm just looking at all those aspects. It's maybe all for me and have nothing to do with you guys.
Yeah, it's funny that, eh? Funny how that works. I agree with that. I guess for me, it's now it's the I seem to have been given clarity around the what. Now for me, it's the how. And one of the talks I did hear from David was, well, that's the Holy Spirit's function, is the how. So right now, I've kind of just thrown it back out there and said, okay, I'm chicken over this, so you show me.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Hmm. Got any more thoughts to share? That was really good.
Well, I just share what I'm moving through, mother. Oh, love.
We
Yeah.
call her the cursing monk sometimes.
I'm trying to move out of that. Yeah, I'm just sharing what I'm going through. That's really all I can be authentic about. And I can see that I even want to stay in a seeming partnership because it feels comfortable. Whether that partnership would even give me anything, any ideas I had about the past. I'm in this awakening process, and what am I settling for? And I'm just looking at it all. And, you know, I've made a decision to be only where Spirit would have me be and do only what is best for my mind. Yet there's sometimes a seeming sense of loss and fear and just a need to have some kind of safety or thing or person. And I've given us up so much, my music and the world, my career, my family roles, and I come into this community and they can get replaced by, you know, a teacher or a lover or somebody in the community who is solely given me for the purposes of awakening. And even that has to be let go of. And I still have to choose where I think it would be most helpful for the healing of my mind, or where it seems too intense and I'm not quite ready. But it doesn't matter if I'm ready or not. I know that I have to walk through it all. I have to forgive it all. And for me, the hardest, deepest forgiveness would be the letting go of a love, one love that I would walk to God with. You know, just, you know, go to God with this one person, and that's all being undone. And so, you know, I'm putting these situations where there's a complete let go, and then Erik seems to be the go-to for me when I think I'm going to get a relief from that. Yet I join with him and it becomes really intense. It's like I can't dodge the healing. It doesn't matter if we're in a romantic relationship or not. I'm still going through the healing because I've asked for no more delays. I've asked for this and I want it, and I'm not running. It seems after almost 4 years I can't run away from it, so I must be ready. And it's okay if I'm not ready. Yeah, it's okay. It'll come when I am, but I feel I am, and he's perfect, and I think that beyond all your interpersonal relationships and lovers and compromises, there is definitely a next step for you that will give you everything you're not getting in this step, even if it doesn't seem to be what you had hoped for in form, and it's so gentle. Spirit always comes through for me when I think, oh, I just can't do this anymore. I need love. Love comes in. I mean, there's no way that we're going to be dropped on our heads when our purpose is to awaken, and we just get everything that we need to awaken. And then if it gets too intense, I'm in the eye of the needle. Okay, I need to come out. Yeah, hi, Erik. Oh, thank God. 2 days go by. I'm like, oh, I'm back in the eye of the needle, and it's worse than ever. Oh, you got this. You know, it's just, yeah, it's just that you don't have to compromise. You never have to. And actually, I say all this about Erik, and it's so opposites, but actually, there's a deep, deep, deep trust. I can tell Erik anything, and that's the only reason why I'm talking to you so openly, and I've not met most of you. It's because I've come to a place with Erik where he knows every detail about me. There's nothing I've hidden from him, and so that I feel safe in like lashing out at him or completely saying, God, I just want to love you. I don't want this anymore. Can we just be in love so we can go and shine our light? How long, why do we have to keep going back? Like, I'm not going to keep anything from him anymore. I'm going to fully use it. And because I trust him, I completely trust him. So it's beautiful that he brings up all this for me. So I didn't mean to say, this is horrible, because it can be really intense, but it's really a gift. And I just feel the need to tell you all that if you're feeling maximized in your situation, that it's really safe to move on, um, because spirit has
Yeah,
something.
that's exactly how I feel. Maximized, and that's the message I keep getting, is that it's maximized, and time to let go of Santa's little helper, and yeah, let that go. That's over now, and move forward. I really appreciate you sharing that. A lot of stuff came out of that for me.
Yeah, there's always there's always a next step. Like that's what this whole path is, just a series of stepping stones. And whenever one relationship or situation starts to feel stale, like we start to feel like we're stagnating in it, that's when we can start to get this get the message that it's maximized. And we don't really have to like get rid of it or figure out what our next step is. All we need to do is be open to something new coming in. And it usually comes in the form of an invitation or an opportunity, like, hey, why don't you come on this road trip? Like someone new maybe, or hey, why don't you, or an invitation into community or to an event like a retreat or anything. It doesn't matter. It's usually in the form of an invitation, and it could be even subtle things. Like some of you may have seen the movie Yes Man, but with Jim Carrey. It's a really funny movie, and it's a really good example of how he's just in this state of like he's going to say no to every invitation. He always just says no. He just has no interest in connecting with people. He's just very much protective of his space, and he goes to this yes seminar where the whole technique is to just start saying yes to every invitation, and it just radically changes his life. Toward the end of the movie, he has to learn a deeper lesson, that it's about discernment. It's not always saying yes or always saying no. It's about really tuning in to your heart and feeling what the guidance is. But a lot of us we're just learning the discernment. I mean, that's really the whole journey, is fine-tuning our own discernment about our yeses and our nos. And when people ask us for things, am I to say yes or am I to say no? Or am I to say, I'm not really sure right now, I'm going to have to just pray on it. Yeah, and I may not get back to you until the very end, or, I don't know. That's been a lot of the answers I've given to people, is I'm not sure. And at some point, we just have to trust that the answer will be given us, and the next step will come in. And it'll usually be really obvious. I mean, it'll be something where we can feel like a sense of inspiration with it, but it might be clouded by a lot of fear. That's a good sign that it's guided, when we're kind of like excited, but we immediately have ego thoughts come over telling us why we shouldn't do it and why we can't do it. And yeah, we just have to be open, really open to tuning into our heart and not listening to the thoughts about, that tell us we're guilty if we do it, or that we're not a good person. The ego has a lot of tricks up its bag, and we're just getting better at discerning the ego in all its different ways of keeping us stuck in a situation that is not serving our awakening at all. I remember I was at my dad's house in California at the beginning of this year. I had been there for a few months, and it was helpful to be there, but I could feel it was starting to kind of stagnate. There definitely was a purpose. I was joining with, I had some kind of relationship assignment thing that came in, but there was a point when it felt like something new has to come in, like there's something starting to stagnate. And it just started to get more and more unbearable, until one morning I remember just praying really hard. I woke up feeling just really crappy, and I just went into prayer and said, Spirit, please make it obvious. What is my next step? What is your will for me?
I was over here at the Peace House having the same experience, and I'm like, Erik, come help me. I'm like, hello, that was your next step.
Yeah, yeah. But it was before I didn't even you didn't come in the picture in my mind until first I heard go on a tour to support these Unwind Your Mind groups. That was what I heard first, and that was like, oh yeah, that sounds awesome. And so I went out to. I think we didn't start. I think first I went out to Utah, and then
But I was joining
there.
with you while you were at Jen's. I was calling like, help, I need support. I
That's
can't.
right. Yeah.
I was calling the whole time. That was Holy Spirit going, dude. And
Yeah.
little did I know we were gonna have to start from scratch again, but that's okay. We were, yeah.
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 So, yeah.
It was an invitation. I said, Erik, I need your help. I'm supporting Kirsten to go to Spain, and I'm about to leave on tour with David. I can't do this. My computer's crashed. I need your help. And he was like, well, if it's given, let me pray about it. And I was like, dude, help me. And then he was like, okay, so he's helping me over Skype and over the internet, and he's helped me so much. And I'm like, God, I just wish he was here. And counting down to Kirsten's 3 days to leave and my 4 days to leave to go to David. I'm like, I need help. I need help. And finally, Candace walks up to him and says, Erik, you can go whenever you're ready. He's like, let me pray about it. He got his plane ticket that night. But with Erik, he's, you know, and many people are very much like, I just have to feel it. I have to be inspired. And I'm just a like, you know, I'm just like a spontaneous feeler. I'm like, yeah, do it. And both of those things can go wrong for us. Like he can wait too long and I can go too quick. And so we balance each other out in those things. Like I'm like, when I first met Erik, I couldn't stop talking. I couldn't stop speaking. I needed to shut up. He never spoke. He never opened his eyes. All he did was meditate. That's all he did. I was like, oh my God, open your freaking eyes. You can't fall asleep on everything. It's not about meditation. I mean, I was just going crazy with him, and he was probably going, shut up, girl. My God, when are you going to shut up? And it was like total opposites. And after about year 3, when we joined, he was asking for help to speak, and I was asking for help to shut up. And that's how we know we're perfect for each other. I told Erik I was going to sit in the bed in the back and not say a word. And he goes, I have a feeling that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
He knows me so well.
Yeah.
I see it the whole time you guys are speaking. Pounding so hard. Can you hear me?
Now I got you back, Dawn. Come back. You went away. There you go.
As you guys are talking, I'm just like, my heart, there's just so much fear around what you guys are saying. Because I know the only thing I want is it's so hard to leave. You just don't know. It's so hard. It's not easy. There's nothing easy about it. I'm like in the epitome of a stagnant relationship and someone who is opposite, but they do not. They don't want awakening. And I try not to judge him because I understand that's where he's at. That's fine. I get that you cannot force this on anyone. So, and we even said about a week ago about wanting to have a holy relationship. It's like, I don't even know where to go with that. I don't really know where to go with it. Why can't you just be with someone and still awaken, you know? Why do you have to leave? I guess I'm still wanting both worlds, and it's not going to happen. I don't know what else to say, but this whole thing is bringing up so much fear in me. Like, literally, like my heart is pounding and I feel this heat in my body, like, intense.
Dawn, you don't have to do anything you're not ready to do. And don't, just calm down, because you know you've spent some time with us. You don't have to force anything. It'll come naturally when it's time. And I mean, is there any way you could come to the retreat at the end of this month and just spend a few days with us?
That's funny that you say that, because I was actually doing the work. Byron Katie's the work on all the reasons why I couldn't come, and that brought up the biggest fight. We've been fighting so much ever since that. I mean, I got an invite from Erik, and my husband went off on me so bad. And it's been like these accusations and just constantly today's the first day we've actually got along really well today. But every day, ever since that invite, it has been like constant fighting. And it's just like every time I even say your name or anyone from the community, it's just like he badmouths you guys. He says the worst things ever. And it's just like, you can't even say it. And it's gotten to the point where you can't even say the word awakening. It's like a cuss word. The word awakening is a cuss word. And I know why the spirit was playfully saying those headphones, the reason why only one half a side works is because only half a side works. Get it? Because the gift was given by both of us.
Yeah.
Only half a side really wanted to give you the gift, so sorry about that. But that was so funny because it's been hell since that invite came. And it's just showing me how we're like on different planets.
Yeah, it's like these things just start to get more and more intense. We can feel that a shift is coming, and it's very frightening. And like Ricki said, it never has to be forced. It really is going to be a very graceful. All the shifts are always meant to unfold very gracefully, and we just have to be very present and listening and just trusting that things will just be given moment by moment. We don't have to think about the future. That's always the ego's ploy, is to have us picture this future that we can't imagine it. So of course the ego fills in the void with bad pictures of what it'll be like, and just that's when trust is, and a lot of faith is required. And just being okay. I don't have to do anything except be here now and listen. Just listen and follow, step by step by step, and it'll be very, very graceful and gradual and loving and integrous. It's always very integrous and appropriate. Everything the Spirit guides us to do it's just amazing how it heals everyone. It's for everyone. It's never for us alone. And that's a helpful key, I think, with with relationships, and next, when we're guided out of an old relationship, one of the primary ego thoughts that comes up is that we're abandoning this other person, and that's going to be like the major block. Maybe that seems to be a very, very common one for people, is that we're abandoning them, like we're leaving them behind. And Yeah, I always found solace in that workbook lesson. When I am healed, I'm not healed alone, and that every step that I'm guided to take for my own healing is actually a blessing for everyone. There's no exceptions. No one is left out of it. It's always going to be truly helpful, even though their ego may be revolting and saying you're abandoning me, and accusing us of being selfish. Um, it's never what it appears. It takes a lot of faith to remember that we're not really abandoning anyone. We're actually accepting responsibility for the whole. We're actually, we're being truly, truly helpful when we are willing to release the past.
David, did you have anything?
Yeah, I had a question about projection. So I notice like where I live in San Francisco, it's kind of a crowded environment, and I notice like when I'm out in the world, I have so much projection. Like I project onto other people, and then it's like I'm responding to my own projection. And so I read what the course says about projection and how it works, but I'm trying to like undo that. So instead of projecting guilt that I can extend love, but I feel like I have a hard time because my patterns are so ingrained. So I wonder if you could talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just projection is the whole. It's really the whole problem. It's the only problem, really. Like the spirit extends love and the ego projects. And it's not just even personal projection. It's not even like we tend to talk about it as if it's like me as a person projecting onto you as a person, and that's how we experience it. But it's really like this deep mechanism in our mind that is like, it's not like we're just projecting onto people. We're actually projecting the people. Like we're actually, we're hallucinating. We're projecting out an image of a whole world that is that we've basically said, okay, I'd rather see the guilt in this world of people than to take responsibility for this thought of I'd rather be alone and independent than one with God. So yeah, I think it's just great. It feels like you're obviously your prayer is help me undo this mechanism of projection. And we can't really speed it up. All we can do is just desire. We can desire the kingdom of heaven, and we can say that's my goal. I want to be in alignment with God, and so help me to just remember that nothing else is more important. And projection only really happens when we choose any other purpose. So one way to get behind projection and to go deeper into it is to just notice when I have an agenda, like in the world, like I got to get to work on time, or which seems like a commonly accepted, that sounds like that's a pretty normal thing to want to do and perfectly acceptable, but we have to question every value that we hold. And so if there's any agendas about getting somewhere on time or getting something accomplished by a certain date or any worldly agenda other than the kingdom of heaven is going to be followed by projection, because then we're going to think, okay, well, I'm upset now because of something other than my decision to choose a purpose other than God. So I think that's one way to just go into it. It's just, I would always find that if I prayed on what am I wanting right now more than God, if I could just identify it, I don't even have to let it go. I just have to kind of get in touch with it. We just have to get in touch with our wanting, and then in the awareness of it, there's a deep healing that takes place, and then the projection, it can't even happen. when we're aware. So I think you're on the right track. You're just by being aware of it is all you can do.
Yeah, and for me lately, projection has been just a real noticing when I don't want to take responsibility, full responsibility for my mind, for God, for my relationship with God. I've just been noticing that a lot. I actually saw that I wanted to project the guilt onto my brother rather than just look at my mind. And I've seen that a lot lately because the guilt's intolerable. It's so intolerable that we project it onto the outside world. So every time something seems unfair or I feel like a victim, I didn't understand any of that in the Course, but I actually started to feel recently that I had been wrong, that I'd done something wrong, and just wrongness came up so hard, and I saw that I wanted to blame someone else, and that cannot be the truth. So I just said, pretty much without this person existing, I'll take responsibility for everything I feel. And I don't even know where to go from there, except that I've been sitting with these deep feelings of pain and shame and guilt and just mud, deep black mud. And just seeing that it's just the guilt of the separation. Like there's really nothing, I'm not the healer. I can just see, wow, I feel crappy. Something's wrong. I don't want it to be my fault. I don't want to be wrong. And I'll take responsibility for anything. I'll do everything you want me to, God. I'll give up all my agendas and do anything you want me to. And just I don't know anything else to do but to ask for me to step back and allow the healing to be done through me. We don't have control, just our desire for you to show up at this meeting, David, and at the New York conference and at all the gatherings I'm in. Like, I don't know how to do it either, but I know that your willingness to show up is a true demonstration of your devotion, and we can't do it. But just that you want to not project is beautiful, and I join you in that. It's one mind, and I feel you right now because I don't know how to stop it either, except to just see that I'm projecting and give it over to Spirit and say, take this guilt from me, take this wrongness, take this feeling that I'm not innocent, that all of it, every feeling you've ever had that's not love. I just join you in lifting it up to the light, and I just noticed your devotion, and just know that sometimes we just need to be reminded that it's seen and that you're doing it, and that you're loved.
Thank you, that's helpful.
Cool.
Well, we got it's about 9:30.
Yeah.
So, thought we could do a closing song.
I felt that you still were going to do stepping stones.
Well, I could. I've got stepping stones and I have quantum too.
Oh!
They're both quite appropriate for everything we've been talking about this meeting.
Yeah.
Stepping stones.
I could do quantum. I'm feeling it.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
Hell to the yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God, are we live? And I'm cursing.
I can just do it on my guitar.
Oh God, I love you. Really?
Yeah.
I don't have to play.
Don't have to play. Just sing.
I don't have to play guitar or by the rules.
You can take your earphone off, right?
I can. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Take one here out.
Yeah. I'm just sticking it under your leg.
Yeah. Okay. So this is our friend Kirsten's song that came through her initially, and then the three of us collaborated on it. It's called Quantum Love, and it's quite appropriate because I think we were talking quite a bit about letting go of the past and letting go of the idea of romance and couple and having it have to be like me and you going to God together, like opening up to a bigger awareness. And some of the lyrics in the song, this love is beyond romantic, and it's bigger than
the two of us. It's bigger than the two of us, and if we let go of that lover and then that caretaker role, then and give it, like, it's really not our job to take care of others. If we do, then we think that God won't. Like, we think we can take care of this person better than God can, which is something that I learned, and it's just a real discipline to know that everybody's going to be okay, and that you don't, it's not about two people. And I'm walking through it, honey. But this song came through almost 2 years ago, and I'm just understanding what it means now. I lift that prayer up that'll be fully recognized and born in me today. Holy instant, y'all.
This love's beyond romantic. This love cannot be contained. It's bigger than the two of us. Dissolves walls and breaks the chains. The past cannot stand in it. Future disappears from view when we surrender and let go of me and you.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but we're healed. They kept telling us we just needed to join and collaborate. And I feel totally in love with you again. MF. Oh my God, it's so nice meeting you all and seeing you again. Yeah, it's really cool.
Thank you, guys. Really, really loved that. That was beautiful. Might have to get
I don't
around.
know what state you're in, but we're gonna come see you.
He's
We're
in
gonna...
Australia.
Oh, we're so coming! Oh my God, we're coming to see you.
Yeah,
And I'm
that's
so
a long
coming to San
trip.
Francisco. And I'm so coming.
Yeah.
I'm so coming. Everywhere wherever you mentioned your place, I'm like, I'm so there. I felt it all.
Yeah.
So I just want to hit the whole United States this year, and it feels given for Erik and I to go out and travel. We're traveling partners, whether we like it or not. In between our intensities and our seeming whatever, we don't label anything anymore. We don't even know what we're doing, but we want to come and we want to come and shine our lights. So
Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah, we're going on tour next week up to Chicago, and then we're just open after that. We may be going to Florida. We're not really sure.
Not sure.
And it may happen. I don't know. We just don't know anything, but we're really open, and it feels like in the summer, just whatever. If any of you feel a spark about like hosting a gathering, like organizing something in your area, then we're really open. And
yeah, we'll just see what Spirit has for us. If you feel a spark with anything, just let us know, and it'll all be given. We just pray about everything. We don't try to make anything happen. So even if you have a thought, it's okay to express it, because it doesn't happen unless it's meant to be.
Yeah.
All good. All good.
Yeah.
Have a great day. Bye.
Love you.
Oh, love to
Love
all
you guys.
of you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. This is great. Really loved your
Oh,
songs and meeting with everyone.
me too, Daniel.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can get to Sedona. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, we're coming there.
All right. Well, have a great night.
You too, Dan. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Anthea, for sharing. Really appreciated that.
Jan, saying goodbye also. Thank you. Oops.
Thank you.
Okay, good night. I love you guys.
I love you too. That was Lee. I thought that was V. That was awesome.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Night,
Andrea.
sweetie.
Night,
Nice
David.
to meet you. Night, David. Yeah, she still has